Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of new features introduced in C# 11. First one that we will take a look at is the required properties. So in C# 11, you can mark properties as required in a class, ensuring that they must be initialized when an instance of the class is created. Okay, so these are the properties of a class called person. You don't need to have a data notation to specify that this property is mandatory. Now this property becomes required as soon as you mark a keyword called required, and this is available only in C# 11. Now this feature helps catching the missing property initialization at the compile time itself. So when using the object initialization, so whenever you use that, like for example, now let's take a look at this. The person which has 1, 2, 3, 4 properties as required, you're trying to initialize the class and then trying to assign some properties. And if you look at this, 3 properties which are mandatory are there, the fourth one is not there. So it says clearly that the country which is also required, marked as required, which is here, it's not specified. So it's giving you error at the compile time itself. That's the beauty of this. Now you can also use something called set required members attribute for selectively disabling the compiler check for certain properties. Okay, so here if you look at this, all these three are here, and then this employee class which is inheriting from a person class. So if you look at this, the employee class is inheriting from a person class, which means there are 4 properties required here, and then there's a fifth one here. Okay, because we are saying in the constructor with this one, it is now the compiler will not check it. So if you look at this employee, I'm specifying, I'm just passing 3, still it is success. But just be careful when you use this. Alright, the next one that we will take a look at is the file local type. So file scoped types are types that are scoped to a file. They are defined in and can only be used within that file. So what does that mean? There is a file called person, and in that file, there's a person file. In that file, you have something called address. Address is a class, but you have marked that as file. Similarly, there's an enum that you have marked as file. So these two can be accessed within this person.cs. You cannot access that anywhere else. For example, because the person class is within the same file, you're able to use the address, which is here. But if I go to program and try to use address, it doesn't even have that address here because they are called file scoped. Okay, and this is also one of the important feature, and it will help. So where this can be applied in the real world scenario. So it's perfect for organizing your code, reducing the complexity and improving the maintainability. And then the last one that we are going to take a look at is the list pattern matching. So let's take a look at the list pattern matching, and here you go. So list pattern matching in C# 11 allows you to match sequences within the list or an array. So this is a list. You can see we have the sequence, put it into an array. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we can use this for the matching purpose. So you can use like patterns like discard, range, and var to match elements within the sequence. So there are like 3 ways you can do it. Alright, so the discard, if you look at this discard, this is the one. So if you use an underscore, it's called discard. It's a placeholder basically for any element in the sequence. So when you specify this, it says discard these two, first and the last two, and then just it will see whether the input which is defined here is having number 4 in the third position. That's the only thing. So it's called, that's why the answer is true. And similarly, you can use all these things, you can use discard all these things, and it will tell us what's the right value. Now similarly, you can use the range. In order for you to use the range, it's the double dot. So when you specify, the first one is 1 comma, I don't care of rest of the things. See, the first one is 1, we put a double dot which is a range, so we ignore all the other stuff, right? Similarly, the last two is ignored, discard is also used, and then so this also will be true. So it's a combination, right? So we skipped first two, and then the last one is used. In between we use the range, which is also coming as true because we don't look for this. 1, 2, and 16 should match, which is matching. Alright, and then there's something called var. You can use var as well here. So var pattern captures the value of the element in that portion in the sequence. See, it captures what is the portion here. So if you print A, it will give you what is A and B here. Okay, so it captures the value here. So these features enhances the capability of C# and make our code more expressive, concise, and safer. I hope you enjoy this video and you learned something new with respect to the C# 11 features, and I would suggest you to start using that in your coming projects. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and put your comments below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Happy coding!